Welcome everybody to the King Mexico podcast. And I am happy and I am so excited. And I got to play the intro for y'all because it's been a while. I've been waiting and I'm hyped.
Oh God.
I had to. I
I didn't like
had to.
that intro.
Oh, yeah. I love this intro.
I never listened to it. I will
No?
never listen to it again. No, I usually like even with the cartoon, once I post like things, I watch it once to make sure there's no error in it, and I
Yeah.
don't rewatch it ever again.
Word?
Yeah,
That is insane. All right,
I have
everybody.
such a good
So
voice.
that's the best part of this whole joint. Like, I'm like all in it. I'm not even gonna front. Like, from the first time I hit it, and I was like, yo, it's just hot. I'm honestly, I don't even know how I stumbled into the stream when it came up, but hold on, let everybody know who you are. I'm already,
Okay.
yeah, already starting.
I'm Ehcrama. I'm the creator of Hella Black Mexican, which is a cartoon telenovela on YouTube, a series about a young girl whose life changes when she realizes she's black. And that's
Yeah, so how did this all go down? Like, I know you probably get this all the time, but I seen your interviews and it's dope how you had your moms and stuff on the little snippets on your YouTube channel and you would answer questions from the viewers and listeners.
yeah. So, what do you like? How the cartoon went down, or
Yeah,
how
yeah, how the
my
cartoon, like the whole
interviews?
cartoon went down because the way it was done and stuff is dope. You know what I mean? I love the little intro.
Yeah, so I mean, initially I was doing already, if you go way back on YouTube, I'm doing videos talking about my experience being half black, half Dominican on YouTube in school and how it was, like just how my experience was. And I started getting tired of seeing myself. Like, I didn't like getting ready to be on camera. So,
Hmm.
during the pandemic, I just took the initiative to pretty much learn how to animate. Like, I've never animated anything before this cartoon. This is like the first time I'm animating anything. So I took initiative to learn and tell my story that way, just because I had a lot of experiences that I'm sure other people could relate to. But growing up, I had nobody to relate to, and a lot of comedy, a lot of little stuff that happened to me. So yeah, I pretty much just started because I wanted to do YouTube somehow, some way. So yeah.
And how do you see the the viewership and what's not? How did that go? How did the internet take it? Because
Oh, good question. Um, I honestly, while I was doing the cartoon, I didn't think a lot of people would see it. In my head, I create, like, I'm already a cinematographer. I do photography. I went to film school, so I've always been really creative, very visual. And so when it came to the cartoon, it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I'm gonna put this out there and it's gonna blow up. But as soon as we had put out the first episode, we were in contact with somebody from Comedy Central literally the next day on the phone, and they were just like, who did the cartoon? Like, do you have a script? And this, that, and the third. And me and my partner LV, who pretty much supported me throughout the entire thing, he was just like, no, we can't sell this. We can't, like, let's work on it. So that was one thing where I knew, like, okay, we're doing something good. We're getting attention of certain people, so that's good. And then the way, like, the audience took it, I was really surprised to see how many people really related with my story, because growing up I literally didn't know anybody who was black and Mexican, or black and spoke Spanish alone. So it was really heartwarming and really nice to see all these people. Like, I have a lot of DMs of people just showing me their children. Like, look at my black speaking child. So it's been it's been great. And then we also have the other people who don't exactly agree with my experience, but it's like it's my experience. I don't know what to tell you or what you agree or disagree with, but that's just what it is. But yeah, it's been for the most part really really good.
Damn. So do you actually get those people who are like, oh, it's not even like that?
Yeah, like there's one video that was doing really well, and it's the video where she visits or she's going to her classmate's house to work on a project. And then the family, who's Hispanic, finds out that the little protagonist, Ehcrama, that she speaks Spanish. So they're all in shock. And so I had a few like people tell me like, well, no, that's not how it is because in my family, like we're really open to all cultures, and I'm like, that's great, that's beautiful. That wasn't my experience, but that's wonderful. But yeah, there's some people who are just like, no, that can't be true, and it's just like, okay, sure, yeah.
So the part in that video, right? Is it true you actually told him you wanted more Chile? Where's the Chile?
So it was, I mean, everything is kind of twisted a little bit to make it more engaging to the audience.
Yeah,
For that particular episode, I was actually in high school because that takes place in elementary school.
yeah,
But I was in high school. I went over to one of my best friend's house, and her grandparents were over from Mexico. And I remember like sitting down, and I always would go to her house to eat after school. And her grandpa was just like, a ella no le dan de comer en la casa, like that's why she's here all the time. Basically saying like I'm just her friend so I could get fed. And so I looked at him and I was like, no es cierto, like my mom feeds me. But so we took that and kind of like changed it a little bit, made it more engaging and more funny for the audience. But every experience is true. We just, twist the truth a little bit to make it a little bit more entertaining.
yeah. Because that was funny as hell. And the reason I guess I find this so like core, because I see you based in the West, right?
Yes.
And I'm based in the East Coast.
Oh, so you see more people like me, right?
Yeah, because my nieces, they're half Dominican and half Mexican.
Oh, sweet. That's so
Yeah, and
cool.
then my kids are also mixed. They half Mexican and half Trinidadian.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so they definitely could relate.
So that's why I found the show so like it hit home because it's like in my family, right? We're all basically like we migrated out. So instead of us, you know how normal Mexican families stay within like the community, but
Hmm.
then it's also the environment we grew up in. You got me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it is what it is. But it's fun, you know what I mean? And it's funny because every time it was the opposite. I'm pretty sure like you grew up with a bunch of Mexicans, right?
Yes.
I grew up with a bunch of black
Black
people.
people. Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah.
when you tell your story and then I'm hearing you talk in the West, and this is one of those things like people in the East is like when I was telling people, it's like about your show, right? It's like, but she Dominican and Mexican. She's like, she's Spanish, B. I'm like, damn, bro, like I gotta explain it to you. Like, this is the West Coast.
Yeah, it's different. Uh-huh.
And then they were like, oh, I get it, I get it. I'm like, exactly, bro. So if you went out there, you would stick out, right? It's like, oh, I got you, I got you. And it's
Yes.
like, and people don't understand that even though we all live in the US, depending what part of what state you're in, it's different. Everybody has their own culture, everybody has their own little community, everybody has their own struggles.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because I actually would get those comments too, like, oh, where we're at, this is common. Like, this isn't something out of the blue. And I was just like, well, where do you live? Because let me visit. Yeah.
You ever been out here?
I haven't. I was planning going to New York, actually, for a fight because I'm like a huge UFC fight fan.
Oh,
So we were
where?
gonna go for, yeah, I know. It doesn't, it's,
That's dope. All right. Let me let you finish it.
oh, but yes, I was trying to go out there to watch a fight. It didn't end up happening, but I'm trying to visit over there. I hear there's like a little community of like Black Latinos over there. And then I also had seen that one movie. I forgot what it was called. Something Heights. That
Oh,
it was
Washington
with
Heights.
Afro Latinos. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's all
Um.
around New York though. Any once you step on the train, you get off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There's
once you get off
no.
JFK, you're gonna see it all over the place.
Oh, see, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm trying to go over there and see what's up because here, you know, I don't think I stand out as much anymore. Only if I speak Spanish. Even when I speak English, people are just like, "You have an accent," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't hear it." But yeah.
So, what UFC fight were you gonna come down here to see? Because I'm a UFC boxing fan, so I'm like,
Oh, you are?
hell
I was
yeah,
gonna see oh, it was Usman versus wait, was Usman over there? Yeah, Usman versus
Kobe,
Covington. Yeah, yeah.
the last one.
And yeah, cuz they fought twice, right?
Yeah, the second one,
I
right?
think they fought yeah.
That was in
It was hard cuz Rose was fighting for that as well.
yeah, that was the last one. That was about what 3 weeks ago, give or take.
Yeah, so I was trying to go to that, but I didn't realize the tickets for that fight were going to be so expensive.
Oh hell's yeah,
Um yeah, so I was like,
hell's
oh,
yeah.
where's my money? Yeah.
Like I would tell everybody, don't forget to subscribe to ESPN Plus. All right.
Oh, I know. But it's interesting because you have to pay a subscription and
Yeah,
then
you pay for the pay per
what
view.
yeah. I'm just like not even a little discount for having the subscription. Like,
You know what I mean? But
mm,
like I would try. Hey, as many times as I could promote ESPN on this joint to try to get a free pass.
oh.
And that
Yeah,
pay
I
per
was about
view,
to say, uh-huh.
that pay per view. I always pay for the pay per view.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I was like, I know a website if anybody wants to know where I get all I stream everything for free.
But yeah, did you catch the last? Hold on, I'm already going a step ahead of myself. You into boxing as well?
Just recently, like I watched the Tank. Well, I kind of watched his
And
fight, not
Lopez?
really. Yes, and then I watched Diaz versus. Oh my gosh, horrible with names.
I know who you talk. Diaz versus damn, it starts with an H. How the hell am I forget his name?
Haney, Davis Haney.
Yes, and I guess so. I know it's with a D and an N of Haney, and he also has that fight that he wants to fight Ryan Garcia,
I'm not
the
sure.
skinny little Mexican kid he calls himself Flash.
I'm yeah, I've probably seen him fight, but
I'm
I'm
100%. And
terrible with
besides that, I'm
names.
pretty sure you're onto the Canelo fights.
Somewhat. Like I just feel like they're throwing any fighter against him that he's obviously going to beat. I don't know. As of lately, there hasn't been like the last fight, the same fight that was on that date of Usman versus Covington. Um, that fighter, I didn't even feel like there's nobody that really has matched his skill that I was like, oh, I need to watch this because it could be really close. You get me?
I get what you mean. I get what you mean, but you got to give Canelo credit because there's a lot of people who say that. But I'm like, the people he's currently fighting all have belts. That's why he's becoming the unified champion. So he's been collecting the belts. Like he's
That's
like Thanos
true.
in the boxing world right now for his weight division.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
because
think he
there's
has all the
in
belts
his
at this point.
yeah, because there's so many belts. Like there's so
Yeah,
many champions. That too
yeah.
gets confusing a little bit.
That's why the UFC is much better to follow.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw
For
you a
sure.
curveball right now. Do you know Gaethje is half Mexican?
Oh yeah, I think I did find that out because I saw his what is it, unvetted or
Yeah, that
he
24.
was and he was hanging out with a lot of Hispanic people, and he said a couple words in Spanish, and I was like, oh, that's a trip. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
because the time he fought Tony Ferguson, right? And he beat Tony Ferguson. That's the day I find out that Gaethje was Mexican. He said it. He's like, and yeah, I'm half Mexican. I'm like, oh, I'm like, bro, you got me. Like, you beat the legend Tony Ferguson. I'm with you now, bro. Now you got my support. You know what I mean? Because always that support, no matter what it is, whoever it is like Raza. I was like, all right, cool, I got you, bro.
Mhm.
Win or
For
lose,
sure.
like the Diaz brothers,
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're extreme. His last fight, the brother, so not Nate, but his brother.
Nick.
Yeah, I didn't expect him to just like throw the towel in.
Yeah,
That's
it's
crazy.
it was I think it's been 6 years since his last fight too. So that's what it is. That's Russ, you know what I mean? That's major Russ.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
How about you? Did you ever try to get your hands in or roll or anything like that?
No, I can't fight. Like, um, I'm not very like good hand-eye coordination. Like, I was athletic when I was younger. I played volleyball for about 4 years, but other than that, like I want to try jujitsu. Like, I really want to get into that. I feel like I'd be a really good grappler. I haven't had the chance to, but if anything, that's the way the direction I'd take. I don't think I'd do like boxing, um, just because yeah, I think I'd be very terrible at that.
I think, yeah, jujitsu would be dope for you. Not for nothing. It's fun. It is fun. No matter
Oh, you
what.
do jujitsu?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
plug my friend really quick. God and Geese. He has geese that he sells.
Yeah.
I don't know if you even use geese because I know some people don't like using
Yeah.
geese.
No gi.
No gi. Okay, I'm
No
gonna
gi.
tell your friends.
Yeah, yeah. Plug them in. Plug them in. People need to know
God
about the gi
and
life.
Geese. Yes, at God and Geese on Instagram. He customizes them. Very nice, very particular and specific the way he designs those geese. So
Yo,
yeah.
but trust me. So my experience, right? When I rolled with somebody who was about give or take, right? Like 5'4". My man was like about 225. He was chunky, right?
Yeah.
Yo, he caught me. I couldn't even help it. Like I was like, yo, bro, he got me good. Like he just did it. I was like over there, like trying to like keep myself like sheltered so he can't get no spot. And eventually he like tuggled his way in and caught me. I was like, damn, bro. Like it's just one of those things. It's like you just rolling and shit, and it's like sweat on sweat, and it's like this because you want to be as close as possible, so you don't give
Yeah.
your opponent no type of room to try to sneak in and shit, right? But it
Mhm.
feels so good because it's like it's not, yo, talking about it and doing it is two different things. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure
Right.
like your friend who rose, I'm pretty sure he's told you, but he's like, nah, you just got to experience it. It's not like you telling somebody. It's
Uh-huh.
even more fun than boxing. Like I did Muay Thai as well. I love Muay Thai, but I think
What is
roll
that, or what's that involve?
it's like kickboxing.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
so that is fun. Muay Thai is also hella fun. That's the one where you could use your elbows. You got your knees, so you can knee people, you can elbow people, punch people, headbutt people.
Oh my gosh. No, I wouldn't last. See, that's why I can't. I rather almost get choked out unconscious than get knee
Nah,
like
you gotta tap.
yeah.
That soft tap, that soft tap, you just go and they let go. But yeah, since you say your friend he makes the geese, he must train. So just once in a while, be like, yo, let's roll around.
Yeah, no, well, he's from San Diego. I live in
Oh,
LA. So, yeah, he's really good. I think he also did boxing as well. But I it's definitely on my bucket list. Like it's something I want to do before, I get older and cuz I don't really move like right now. I'm young and I probably exercise like anytime I walk my dog, which is like twice a day, but that's all I'm doing. So, I really want to get into something that will get me moving more. So yeah, I'm gonna try that.
well, from the torso right now that I look like, it looks like you working out. Your
Right.
shoulders is looking like
Genetics.
your
Yeah, it's
genetics is
just
like wow.
like I don't really
You
have
see, look at that. Look at
muscle,
that
but then I
bicep.
have muscle.
Look at
Yeah,
that
thank
bicep,
you.
B. You making me
It's
feel
it
ashamed.
comes
I'm
with
like,
being black. Like my brother, he's full
yeah.
Mexican. And he's always like, dude, it always looks like you work out. But yeah, I think it's just the way I'm built. Like I'm built like I'm a little bit solid, you know. So it looks like, oh, she lifts or something. But no,
You see,
I don't.
you should just tell them you do damn, what's the one you just you weights and do the mad kettlebells and you just deadlift crazy amount of weight and do push-ups. I'm trying to remember. Oh, CrossFit.
Oh, I was actually interested in that too.
Yeah, I used to look up to Rich Rich Foy or Rich, I forgot his name. He used to be he at the time when I was following him, he probably had like four consecutive championships in CrossFit.
Oh
I
wow.
think it's Rich Foy, if I'm not mistaken. Yo, I used to look at him. I'm like, damn, that's how I'm trying to reach. And then you find out that a lot of people get injured because it's just like it's fun to do it, but then there's no really nothing behind it. You got me?
Right. Yeah, that's true actually. I didn't think of that.
So my boy put me on. He's like, yo, bro, you're just doing this shit just to do it, but there's no like pro to it in life. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna be able to do this and this.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point of view.
And then that's when I started doing like went back into like martial arts and stuff. And yeah, right now I've just been on a break. All I do is work out with kettlebells and stuff. After COVID and stuff, it basically knocked everything out. So, and I'm sure it's difficult for you over there in the West Coast because everything in California is like lockdown this, lockdown that. Can't do this, can't do
Yeah.
that. Vaccine this, vaccine that. It's like, God damn.
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy. I mean, as of lately, everything's been pretty much open, but if you want to dine in, you do have to have your vaccine card and all of that handled. But yeah, it never worked out, so it never really affected my life. But we'll see.
Nah, but that's cool though. But going back to your series, right? And just life experiences, right? In general. Do you get in touch with the Dominican side and that Wepa life or no?
No, so that's something I really want to explore. It's just crazy because growing up, it was just me, or my brother, my mom, and me. So I only knew the Mexican culture that she showed us, but I didn't know anything about my Dominican culture. And even then, it's like I don't really know my Mexican culture that much. Only if I'd go to my friend's house, I'd see like, the way the grandma talks or the way they celebrate parties is the way I see like, oh, this is like that culture. But I never had anybody show me the Dominican culture. Um, my dad, he'd talk to me in English. He'd only speak to my mom in Spanish. So I didn't really like get to experience that. And my dad came here when he was like 15, so it was a little bit different. Now, when I visit my dad, my grandma's here. Almost my whole family from the Dominican Republic is here now, and
Oh,
it's
nice.
cool. I just have trouble like understanding them because they talk really fast, and the words are so different, like compared to the words I know. Like un chin means a little bit, and
Yeah.
then I thought un chin is like a bad word because in Spanish, like chinga is like a different meaning. So I was just like, what is she saying? What is she telling me? So that's what I'm going through right now. But as of now, I'm kind of just starting to explore like my culture, both sides really, and yeah, figuring it out.
All right. So my advice to you is listen to some Aventura,
Oh yeah, yeah, I listen
some
to that too.
Alpha,
Alpha. I don't think
some
I've listened to that.
some Dembo.
Some what?
Dembo.
How do you spell that?
Dembo is BO. Them both.
Okay.
I would damn. You see, I wish I could play it because then, but I already been kicked out a couple of times for playing music.
Oh,
Yeah, the last time I got kicked off was for like a month or 3 weeks. Yeah.
wow. Yeah, no.
So yeah, I get into that. Go on and Dominican. I forgot what it is. I'll send you the pages so you could get in tune with
Yeah.
that. And so then next thing you know, you're gonna be on your joint. You're gonna be like, "Pero loco, yo te estaba diciendo, chacho." You see, like it hits off quick with me. You know what I mean? Because I'm from out here, so
Yeah.
and then
So
everything's loco, loco, this, loco, that.
yeah.
Eso está bacano, ¿verdad?
I can't wait. Oh my god. I want to talk like that.
Oh, you were trying to talk like that?
It'd be nice. Yeah, my Spanish. I mean, if you've seen the cartoon, my Spanish is just like, whatever Spanish.
Nah, your Spanish
I
is
like
it's
the
good.
accent.
Yeah, you do.
That what?
You do have the accent. I hear it.
In English, I have a Spanish accent.
Yeah. Same thing with me. People tell me I have it, but I don't pick it up.
Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
myself.
no.
Yeah, like if you talking to yourself, you're like, I'm like, yo, you got a Spanish accent. I'm like, nah, B, I don't. Like, nah, you do, B. I'm like, all right. So yeah,
That's funny.
it
I
is
have a
hilarious, right?
friend. She was like, I was working with her. We used to do photography together, and I was assigned to work with her. And it was before she even met me, but they'll send you the roster of people that are working with you. And she said that when she saw my name, she was just like, Ehcrama? Like, is she Indian? Is she like, who is she? And then that I showed up, and she was like, oh shit, she's black. And then like I started talking, and she's like, oh shit, she's not black. And then yeah, she's just like, where are you? Like, who? Why do you talk like that? And then yeah, I told her like, oh, I don't know, half Mexican, half Dominican. But yeah,
I
I
know
just
that gets sometimes like, damn, again. At the same time, it's
yeah,
fun and it's probably like again.
it's a good icebreaker, because instantly people will be like, oh, where are you from? So it's cool sometimes. But it gets repetitive, having to repeat. But it's good because I also get to plug the cartoon. Like, oh, now that you've asked, like, watch this whole series on my life with me explaining who I am. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Snoop Dogg episode had me dying.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. That one, and we featured Concrete on one of them, and he's accessed Theo Maniacs,
Yeah.
and that's one of my favorite episodes too.
Yeah, that whole mirror thing you did in the Snoop Dogg. I used to do the
Oh
same
yeah.
thing. I used to rap too. In front of my mirror, I thought it was Jigga.
Oh, that's funny. This next episode I'm actually working on, she's on the mirror and she's like doing a little freestyle to another Snoop Dogg song. So it's probably gonna come out within the next month. So,
And the yeah, and then the Theo one is hilarious too.
yeah. That one got good feedback.
And then yeah, in general, like when you follow it, like video by video, it's hilarious as hell. And I'm like, yo, and it's funny, right? Because you telling me you created and it's you and your partner. So just waiting for the video, like, oh man. And you're like hype. You're like, yo, when is this next one gonna drop?
Yeah.
And I understand it's hard to like do all that on your own, but we live in a culture where it's like, yo, when is it gonna drop? When is it gonna drop? When is it gonna
Yeah.
drop? When is it gonna
We're
drop? You
so
know what I mean?
impatient. Yeah, it's like we need stuff now. Yeah. Yeah, it takes
But
me really long. But actually,
yes,
it doesn't take me as long as it used to. Um, but it's tedious work. Like the reason I hadn't came out with anything is because one thing after another was happening. Like the desktop I was working off of broke down, so I was like, okay, I'll use my laptop. The hard drive I was working on completely dead. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I can't use that. Then the laptop I was working on didn't work anymore. So I want to go buy a new laptop. And then I basically have to do most of the characters and the settings and everything all over again.
What?
So that's what I'm like dealing with currently. But I mean, these things happen. You know, I can't be so upset about it. It's just like you gotta keep going. Um, but yeah,
So you draw it as well?
yeah, everything
What?
literally like from the script to the characters to the backgrounds. With the backgrounds, I do go on Adobe and I do get backgrounds from there, and then I like switch them up and manipulate it into like the background I want. But the characters are all made. I mean, that's why they look a little bit janky. Like if you really pay attention like to the details, like the arm is like almost coming off, but people don't see that unless I point it out. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't notice none of that. Now that you told me, I'm gonna be like, oh, let me see this.
Oh no.
But I haven't
Yeah.
peeped none of that. But yeah, and just going back, we're so impatient, you know what I mean? But that's the whole thing. It's like I'll be on your page. I was like, yo, anything new? Anything new? But I'm like at the same time, knowing that you're doing this on, it's basically man-made. It's basically a one person, two-person show.
Yeah.
So now I understand. I'm like, nah, I have patience now. I ain't no worried about that. And then, but the out, what you're coming out with is amazing. So I'm like, so even more because it's now like more hands-on than ever. You know what I mean? It's like other people that I follow as well who do their comic book and they do it on their own too, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
So you ever thought about doing a comic book, just bringing the show into a comic, just to have it as a paperback or digital as well?
Yeah, we've talked to a couple of people, some publishers that are actually from New York, and they all tasked us with like, getting the story together um, and all of that, which I am interested in doing. But my goal right now would be to finish this series, and then which is only 20 episodes, so there's only two more episodes to go for this one. Once I'm done with that, market that while working on the children's book, which won't be called Hella Black Mexican because they say it's too extreme. So it'd be like HBM for Hella Black Mexican, and then there'd be like the overall title of it. Um, so that would be my goal. But yeah, I've definitely been interested. One of them pitched doing it as a comic as well. Another one as a style of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which is basically like the diary and the little drawing, like the little doodles. So yeah, that's one way I do want to take the cartoon. I mean, as many ways as I possibly can. I'd like to reach the audience.
Are you gonna come with any plush dolls or any little action figures?
Yeah, so eventually it's my goal. I just needed to like focus, I'm very like I'm literally like the cartoon, well it's me, but I'm very like scatterbrained, and then I get like focused on one thing and then I turn and focus on another thing. So it's very hard for me to like stay in my lane because I'm always like, oh, let me do this, let me do that. Like the same reason how the animation, I never in my life was like, oh, let me animate. Like that was never a thing. But because I'm always just like, what can I do? Um, yeah, but yeah, for sure, little dolls, um, merch. I just want to have merch, even little like keychains, phone cases, everything. But
T-shirt.
we'll see. Yeah, I have sweaters. I'm actually wearing HBM. It's like loungewear that I haven't came out with, but I have it for myself. But I'll eventually come out with it. I have a couple sweaters as well that will go up soon. But yeah, I'm just finishing the season and then I'm gonna go into the whole marketing stuff.
Nice. And so in the cartoon, you have a chihuahua.
I do. So her name was Princess. She passed away like 4 years ago.
What?
Yeah, she had. I'm not sure what was the problem. I know she had water in her lungs due to her taking medication for a different issue. Oh, I think it was because her heart was way too big, or was pulsing like way too fast. I don't know what the issue is. She was a very like angry Chihuahua, so I'm sure she had heart problem. Um, but yeah, she ended up passing away. But yeah, she was like my little childhood. She was like my little sister. Or at least my mom treated her like she was my sister, or favored her a little bit more than all of us. But it was it was cool. I'm trying to bring her back in, and like I keep forgetting she exists in the cartoon. I'm just like, oh crap, I need to put Princess in there. But she was supposed to be in there a lot more. She was only in there like twice, I think.
Do you still have a Chihuahua this time around the second dog?
No, I have a corgi,
Oh,
um,
nice.
a Pembroke corgi. Yeah, I went fancy this time. But he's very cute, very huge personality. I had to put him outside right now because he'll be right here just like begging me to play with him. But yeah, very different experience from Princess. Like with Princess, couldn't get close to her, couldn't touch her. If you locked eyes with her, she will attack you. So you couldn't really. She was just you couldn't really do anything with her.
Wow, she was a guard dog.
For my mom only. Like growing up, me and my mom slept on the same bed, and Princess would sleep in between. So I couldn't even move. Like I'd be sleeping like a stick the entire time. Never moved. I'd wait for her to get up, then I would get up, or else I'd be getting attacked. So yeah, I still have a couple scars on my legs just from her biting me. But yeah.
Hey, yo, that was a vicious Chihuahua.
She was crazy. She was very, very crazy. The only things that would make her happy was like carrots, like eating carrots, and like we had a tamale lady like outside every Saturday and Sunday, and she'd always be with their horn like tamales, tamales, and like she would get really happy, and that was like the only time I'd see her happy. She was like an old lady in a Chihuahua body. I don't know.
That is insane. So did she eat the tamales too?
We would try not to feed her human food, but she always got her way because she's, yeah, she'd bite you. Like she was just an evil. I hate saying the word evil because I feel like it's so negative, but she was like honestly an evil dog. Um, so may she rest in peace.
Chihuahua from hell.
I know. Yeah.
But it's just funny, all these things, right? How life is, right? How you say you didn't really like ever think you were gonna be into animation, right? Where do you think you were gonna be at that?
Um, I mean, I still think about it now. Well, what do
Oh.
you mean? Like in my stage in life? Like
No, no,
where?
no, no. Like when you you did film, right?
Yeah.
Were you trying to do like Hollywood, like movies and stuff, or
Yeah, so I'm really into cinematography still till this day. So I really wanted to basically work on a lot of indie films. I don't know about the whole like Hollywood, like breaking into Hollywood or whatever, but I wanted to, yeah, stick to cinematography. I love like cameras and lighting and all of that. So I thought by this time, I'd probably have a couple of gigs here and there because I freelance with that aspect. So yeah, but I never really had like a clear idea. Like I never really was like, oh, I'm going to be like a cinematographer of Hollywood or I'm going to be a director. I just felt like I was going to create and I was going to create something and I'd see where that takes me, but I didn't really know like I don't know. Like till this day I don't really know what I want. I just know I want to create. Um yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with this one because my boy's into like filming as well. When you watch movies, right?
Mhm.
And you see certain things that I probably don't pick up because is, it's not me, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna catch it at all. But when I watch movies, my boy, or we talk about movies, he'll go back and be like, "Oh, did you see the scene that lighting was off? Oh, do you see how the camera angle they messed up?" I'm like, bro, like relax.
Yeah. Yeah, I do a little bit. I mean, I used to. Now I kind of
Mhm.
just keep my comments to myself. Or it depends who I'm watching it with. If I'm watching it with other people who know film or have been to film school, then we'll like pause it and be like, "Oh my god, they fucked up right there! Like, did you see how da da da?" But like other than that, it's just mental notes. But making movies is so difficult. Like we just finished filming a movie called Horchata with Oat Milk, and it's basically about this guy who gets out of jail after 9 years, and he comes to find out that his city has been gentrified. Um, so we just finished working on that. We have 10 days to film it, and we're still editing that. But it's just so hard. Like now, when we're in the editing room, it's just like, wow, we made a mistake here, there. So it's just like, I mean, props, to people who get their movies out there because it's difficult. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of people. Like you literally need a team to do movies.
I like that title though.
Horchata with oat milk.
Word, it says everything. I was like, yo, that sounds like some gentrified drink.
Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what they were trying to aim for. There was like a couple of titles that they were like this, that, or the third, and everybody was like, "Horchata with oat milk is like it makes the audience want to know like what is that." So
Nah, his different, you know what I mean? It's like non-GMO tacos with mushrooms.
yeah, you get to
It's
pick your
crazy.
own.
All these things, especially in the West, when it comes down to being like vegan and non-GMO and all this like extra level stuff,
Yeah, they take it serious over here with
where
the
y'all take it like
science and everything. Mhm.
y'all take it to the next level. Over here, we still like, maintaining, but y'all like, yeah, beers be like vegan. I'm like, how?
Oh yeah.
Vegan beers,
Yeah,
like,
it's
yo.
crazy.
I'm like, yo, y'all really take it to the next level. I'm like, and then it's like organic. I'm like, and I always have jokes about the organic fruits and vegetables. I'm like, all it is a sticker, right?
Actually, yeah. And I buy organic, so I never noticed the difference.
All you do is take the organic sticker, put it on the modified fruit or vegetable, and it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, the only way you find out is if you root it. You got me? You put it in water. If it roots, then it's organic. If it don't root,
Oh,
then it's been modified.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like ginger. Ginger's an easy one.
Mm.
And then what else? I think pineapples, avocados. Yeah, because I have a little avocado plant here. Like I just be planting the random things around the house and stuff. And then if it grows, it grows. If it don't, it don't. And avocado, it needs like room. So all you see is just this one stem, just keeps growing and growing. I was like, yo, when is avocado ever gonna come out?
Well, it's a tree, right? Like it
Yeah,
takes, yeah, it'll take some time.
yeah. We live in apartments out here, so we don't even have a yard. So it's like just this thing growing. Cause I have a what you call it, like a greenhouse. So we have all these little
Oh,
cactuses.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and out of that greenhouse is like this big stem just growing out.
Dang. That's cool though. We'll see where it goes, how it grows.
Word. But with that said, right? So now since we talking about what is your spot out there, like in LA? Like, are you a truck person? Are you a restaurant person? Or you like the little hole in the wall?
I don't have like a specific spot, or maybe I do. I just can't think of it at the top of my head. I have terrible memory, first of all. I have the worst memory in the world. I have no idea why, but I do. But
All right, you wanted a
long
burrito
story
right
short,
now.
okay, a burrito. I'd Sergio's in Montebello. Um, Yeah, no, see, because I'm saying this now, but then when I'm asleep, I'm gonna wake up and be like, oh my God, I totally go to this other place, and I'm gonna be so upset that I didn't think of it at the time. Um, but I don't know. I'm always trying different places, but I can't think of a specific place where it's just like, this is my this is my spot. This is where I'm going. I'm really into ramen. I don't like that's what I'm into right now.
Oh, where?
So I have
Cold
like
or
a
hot?
ramen spot. Hot, cold,
Yeah,
cold. Cold
there's
doesn't
cold
make
ramen out
ramen.
here. It's cold ramen too. It's hot and cold in New York.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's cold
Taking
ramen
it
out
to
here.
a whole nother. How is it cold? Like
It's just
like.
it's not cold cold. It's like probably like room temperature.
Oh. But what makes it different from?
I have no idea. I never ate it cold, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. I always eat it hot.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting. For sure, hot ramen. Never had cold ramen.
It's like sake, you know what I mean? Like hot sake, cold sake.
Oh, I actually haven't had sake yet.
Nah.
I haven't. I haven't really lived. I think that's what I'm getting at here. I'm still like exploring the world. Like I'm a little bit of an introvert. Unless my friends are like, "Let's go do something," then it's like okay. But for the most part, definitely a homebody. Um,
Hey yo,
very private. Yeah.
you in LA at that though. You know what I mean? Like I have when it comes down to like food, well, when it comes down to Mexican food, when it comes down to Mexican food and infused. So when you said Roman, right? I'm already thinking about like Mexican infused Roman noodles.
Oh.
Like they put what is that called? The little corn thingies? Pozole. Pozole Roman. You take the
I've
pozole
seen
and put
that.
ramen in it.
Yeah, I seen that on Instagram. Somebody had
You see?
Yeah, no, that's actually really cool. I think the best Mexican food I actually had was in San Diego. Um, Over here we have like King Taco, which is good. But I think San Diego, I don't know if it's because they're closer to TJ, but everything just tastes so much better over there. So now when I'm over here, I'm kind of just like, well, I wish I was over there to have this food. But yeah.
How about birria? Because I know birria is big right now. It just got out here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like birria, like the wave was out there, right? Like when it comes down to certain things, like y'all have the wave. Y'all have the wave for music, like the culture's out there, and then it just comes in here. So all of a sudden, our trucks, they have birria trucks all of a sudden. Like the truck I go to,
Yeah.
they have it.
Uh-huh.
And then when I'm like, yo, does LA have like birria instead of having it with meat? It's like beets. So it's basically like a
All right.
I'm just throwing it out there, you know what I mean? Because I think about LA being real vegan and shit. So it's like tofu,
Oh,
beets,
yeah.
mushroom, onions, birria instead of having meat in it.
Yeah, I actually have it's called Cena Vegan in
See?
Echo Park. My That's actually one of my favorite burritos. It's a carnitas burrito, but it's made of jackfruit. And
What?
but it's like it tastes just like carnitas, even better actually, because you don't get like the chewy like fat. It's so delicious. Like everything they put in it. I mean, I could convert into a vegan here, especially because they just know how to season the food. It just tastes good.
It's not bland.
Yeah, it's a blend. They use seasoning and everything.
Yeah,
But
out
for
here it's
sure, you
kind of
gotta try
hard.
to taste the food over there.
Oh, nice.
Like, I mean, I'm sure there's Dominican restaurants over there, right? Like over here, there's one, and it's like not even 20, probably a lot more further. But I've never tried it. But there's not really like, there's no Dominican food over here.
Oh, now over here you just like stick your hand out, and
Wow.
like today, right? This is how crazy New York is. So today, what I had for dinner, I went down. Mind you, it's 3 miles away, right, from where I was. It took me 25 minutes to get there. 3 miles. And then it took me an hour to get home. And home is only 4 miles.
It. Oh.
Traffic.
But you're walking?
No, no, driving.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, 3 miles is a lot. I mean, three
No,
miles
no,
is almost an
driving. All
hour.
this is driving. But
Oh,
whatever the
okay.
fact is, I went to pick up some Peruvian food.
Oh, I love Peruvian food. Okay,
So
so
we got,
sorry.
you see, so we got Peruvian, right? We ate Peruvian. The other day we had burgers, pizza. So it's like Dominican food. So out here is like, yeah, all that.
Like
And
Dominican pizza?
no, 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 no. I mean, like the different types of food that you could eat in a week.
Oh, okay.
And you don't even have to cook. Like, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of money though, spending food to go out, right?
Yeah.
You eat out every day?
Nah, 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 nah.
Yeah. Okay.
Nah. Once in a while. Once in a while seems a lot often though, when you really think about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just wild. Yeah, so that. And then when it comes down to sweets, that's another one too.
I'm not a big sweets person. I like salty food a lot.
Oh nah, so you love it down here.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to go. I think I'll make it my mission or my goal to go next year for sure, for sure.
Yeah, when you come out here, you got to come to Brooklyn and get like some real Dominican. Or you go to the Heights and Dykeman up there. That's like real Dominican.
I hear that you could spot when somebody's not from there because they're like, I had seen a YouTube video.
Not anymore, I think, because it's
Oh,
so
really?
gentrified. Yeah, New York is so gentrified. It's wild. Like only time you'll
Are
be able to
people
tell
going
some.
over there and push you?
Not really. It
Or
depends. It depends.
okay, because
Yeah,
I'm
it's not.
sensitive. If somebody were like to push me or be like, get out of my way, I
You
think
smack
my
them.
whole trip is ruined.
You smack them. You
Yeah.
go. You smack them with the bing bong.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Do people use that over there? Bing bong? Like,
All
is
of
that
a
a
sudden,
thing?
it just became a thing from
Oh,
because of that page.
yeah.
Man going bing bong. All of a sudden, everybody's on that bing bong page. Yeah, so it's hilarious. What's the other one with Crown Faces? If you ever follow Crown Faces, when he goes banzai, that's another one too.
Banzai?
Banzai. That's when you punch somebody and they knock out. Go banzai.
Oh my gosh. That's aggressive.
But yeah, so let's see. When you come out here, you go to Dykeman. If you want some real Spanish food, you go to Queens, and that's where you find the mecca of Colombian, Ecuadorian, Peruvian, Salvadorian, and that'll be like Roosevelt. So in general, Queens, and then you also got Koreatown in Queens.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's where you get like barbecue wings, barbecue Korean spots is banging.
Is there actual Koreans making
Yeah,
the chicken? Oh, nice. Cool.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, you
yeah,
know, I'm
it's
here and it's some Mexicans selling Chinese food, so sometimes you don't know if you could trust it, but I
what?
get it anyway. Sometimes, yeah, like I'll
Hold
walk
on,
into
hold
a
on, hold
food
on.
spot and it's like, or it's Asian people selling Mexican food and sushi. Wait, what did I say? Mexican? Sorry, I got confused. But
Tex-Mex?
sometimes Tex-Mex.
Yeah, that's what they call it out here. When it's like a Chinese spot and they sell Mexican food, they'll call it Tex-Mex.
Oh, I'm learning in this podcast so much. But yeah, I'm just like, is the sushi even good here? Or should you trust the Chinese food if it's Mexican people making it?
Hold on, I got a question since you brought up Chinese food, right? When y'all eat Chinese food in the West Coast, hey, this is the first time I ever asked somebody. It's because he brought it up. What is your go-to?
Ooh. Okay, so if I go to a Chinese food place, I usually get any chicken that's like spicy. So there's like the pepper chicken. I get orange chicken with everything, spicy orange chicken. I get half rice, half chow mein, and then I either get like broccoli, beef broccoli. I get the Mongolian beef, or I get it's like it's different named differently in different spots, but usually whatever has like chili in it, because I'm like a super I love chili, so wherever I see like the little peppers, I'm like I'll take that chicken. But yeah, that's like my go-to for the most part.
What? That
So
is
what is that
all right.
different over there?
All
No.
right. So when you from out here, right? You get Chinese food, you're gonna get either pork fried rice or chicken fried rice with chicken wings.
Chicken wings.
Yeah.
They sell chicken wings?
So chicken wings out here.
Oh, that's
You
so
get four
interesting.
chicken wings and fried rice. So either yeah, most of the time it's either pork or chicken fried rice.
Wow. Yeah, here shrimp fried rice is a big deal. Shrimp fried rice. But I've heard like of Korean chicken. Like Korean chicken's a big deal here too, but not like Chinese like fried chicken or chicken wings.
What?
But
How
are they
about
little?
nah,
Or
they
is it like
big.
the little? Oh.
A whole wing, like a whole chicken wing.
I don't think I've seen that here.
What? All right, so here's the second dish. Oh, actually two more dishes. So the second one that most people get out here would be General's Tso chicken. And same thing either with chicken fried rice or pork fried rice. So it's something like the orange flavored chicken,
Oh.
but it's different. It's just called General Tso chicken, but it's no orange.
Oh, okay. And then the third one?
The third one is a classic. It's a beef and broccoli.
Oh, nice.
Beef and broccoli, either way. And most of the time, some people get it with the white rice or the fried rice.
Cool. That's probably my go-to if I'm over there.
What? That's crazy. Now that I'm hearing this, you see, good thing we brought this Chinese food thing up. Now I'm gonna have to ask more people when I speak to them in the West. I'm like, yo, what's your Chinese food out there?
Yeah.
What? All right, so let's see what other dish can we compare out there and here. I know which dish right here we're gonna go with. How about when it comes down to Mexican food, right? What is the go-to dish out there?
Oh, that's hard because since there's such a variety, it's really what you're feeling. Like if you're hungover on a Sunday, you're gonna get menudo or pozole. Most likely menudo or a freaking cóctel de camarón. You know. But it just depends. Like if you're out partying and it's 3 in the morning, you're gonna go to the taco truck. Probably gonna get some tacos or carne asada fries or la torta. If it's church and you're going to eat after church, you're probably gonna get yeah, I don't know, it just depends. Like if it's cold, you're gonna get a caldo de camarón, caldo de albóndigas, caldo de pollo. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's like a go-to. I think LA just likes tacos in general and they'll make it like, oh, that's what we get, but it just depends on your mood because there's just so much to yeah, to get. Like I take probably like an hour and a half to decide what I want to eat. It's terrible. And then I end up getting something that I didn't even want. Um, but yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. All right, so I'm gonna make it easier. Your go-to childhood dish.
Ooh, probably enchiladas.
That's a
Cheesy
go-to dish
enchiladas.
as a kid.
she rarely did, but if she was like, "What do you want to eat?" Enchiladas, for sure, 100%. That was like my go-to. Or now it's pasta. Like I really love pasta, but I need to, chill with the carbs. But growing up, for sure, enchiladas or no, that was my go-to. That's what I wanted, what I daydreamed of all
Dang.
the time. What about yours?
Wow. Wow. Damn. You it's like wow. Boy, what was my go-to dish as a kid? It was pizza.
Pizza.
Pepperoni
Well, it's
pizza.
bomb over there, right? Like it's
Oh, hell's
very
yeah.
good.
Like our pizza out here. If you ever come out here, oh yeah, when you ever come out here, I'll give you the whole list of where you need to go for everything.
Oh,
It's called
I've
Prince
heard of
Pizza.
it.
So Prince
And
Pizza says square slices, right? And it's like pepperoni all around.
wow.
Wherever you bite in this pie, there's slice. I mean, not square slice,
Pepperoni.
pepperoni, and it's like
Oh,
no, no. It's like no, no, and it's not like little no, and it's big no. And then you want cheesecake? It's literally like
Ooh,
3 blocks away. Then you want coffee? You go like 2 blocks down. All this is in Soho.
Soho. Okay.
And then it comes down to, oh, how about the beer?
Beer. I drink a lot of IPAs just because they're stronger. I'm a lightweight, so I just need like two and I'm good. But I think that's a little bit popular here. There's a couple San Diego beers that are here, like in LA. I think those are pretty popular. But right now, what's really in is the White Claws. You know what White Claws are?
The salsa water?
Yeah, the vegans like the zero carbs, 100 calories. Um, so that's kind of what's up over here.
All right. So what's your go-to beer right now? And
I like any hazy IPAs right now.
any particular brewery?
No, sometimes, honestly, if I'm being honest, I just look at the alcohol percentage and I'm like, perfect, and I just take it. I don't have like I'm not very like, I can taste the hoppiness, or I don't really know. If the bottle looks kind of cool, I'll take it, kind of thing.
Nice. Not because out here, yo, and I have a like a beer podcast and stuff.
Oh, you
Shameful
do have that?
plug-in. Yeah, it's called Brew Host Podcast.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah, and we review beers. The last beer that we did, I'll tell you right now. I already forgot the name, but it was a IPA and a double IPA. One was 8%, and the other one was 7% in a
Mm.
brewery in Connecticut. Oh, Bank and Bridge.
Bridge. So
Yo,
you are able to like taste. Are you like an expert at
nah, just give
tasting?
just give people like whatever I think it tastes like. There's some beers that we've had on the show that I would have to say they taste like. All right, so you ever had like tropical fantasy? I don't know if it was a thing in the West Coast or champagne soda.
No, I don't
All
think
right,
so.
you ever had cheap champagne?
Yeah.
All right, so some of the some of the beers we reviewed, we like, yo, this tastes like cheap champagne. So
I
I
think
give
maybe
like,
from little like mom and pop beers, like people who
yeah, most of the
make
time,
it.
like that we've been reviewing a lot of good beers, and that's why my co-host we be like, yo, we gotta start doing like like big name beers because the little breweries, microbreweries tend to have really good beer. So it's kind of hard giving them because we rate it from 1 to 5. And most of the time, a microbrewery is gonna be way better than a corporate beer.
Right.
You
Yeah,
get
I
more
agree.
flavor, the flavor's there, the notes are there, the bitterness tends to be a little bit lower, but the alcohol volume is high. I
Mm.
had yeah, I had one of the people who was on my show. He has a his Trying to remember. Quintero Studios. So he's like the creator for his label. He came out here and he put me onto a brewery that was literally in back of my yard. I was like, oh shit. So we ended up going to Evil Twins Brewery, and it was like, yo. So we had like stout, we had IPAs, and yeah. So that night I probably had like an 11% alcohol, 10% alcohol,
Mm.
seven, but they were all good. You know what I mean? But in my head, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go check it out. I'm not expecting the best beer. Come to find out, I'm like, oh wow. And every single time we review a beer that's from a small batch, it tends to be good. So most of the time it's like fours and fives. But then when we do big ones like Blue Point, it'll be like a three. Budweiser would be like a two.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did Negra Modelo and we were like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, most of the
Modelo
ones
was
that
good
we
though.
get are Modelo. I feel like all of like they taste a little bit.
Like a
I don't know. I
daily, as a daily, you know what I mean? Not as a damn. What was it? Oh yeah, we said it was good for events, you know what I mean?
oh,
Like a baseball game or a family event because you don't really want to spend that big money. You don't want to give your family craft beer.
right, right. Actually, that's true.
You give your family craft beer like, esta madre está buena, ¿verdad? ¿Tienes más? Nah, like
Yeah.
your batch is over there. Corona. We had Corona too. I was like, oh hell. One that we both never had. Well, I never had, right? And I'm 35. I just had that beer. No, 37 actually. Was Old English.
I've never had.
Old English is a malt beer. So it's the equivalent of Black Cobra, I guess, would be equivalent, I guess, over there in the West. It's like malt beer, cheap beer, like dollar beer.
Oh, is it like the 40
Yes,
cent?
the 40s.
Oh, that's why I never had it.
Yeah, so 40. Any 40. So we had Old English. And I had it. I was like, yo, this thing tastes horrible. It was
It's acidic,
horrible.
right? Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't, we both ended up like tossing the beer out because we couldn't drink it. Like, I'm like, how do people drink this shit every day? And like, I get it. It gets you, I guess, where you want to be, but it was disgusting. That's one that tasted
Yeah.
like cheap champagne.
Usually over here, like the homeless people are the ones that have the 40s. It's cheap. Mm,
And it
yeah.
gets to where it gotta be.
Yeah.
So yeah, but with that said, right, when is the new episode coming up?
Um, within this month, within January, perhaps. Um, worked on it a little bit today. I'm doing as much as I can, but yeah, it's hard once I stopped like doing it so often. It's hard to get like back into it. Um, and then yeah, I did like a little since she's wrapping for this next one. I worked on the little wrap for that, and then probably gonna record it tomorrow, and just finish the script and send it out to get the voices because a lot of the people who do the voices aren't actually like voice actors. They're just like friends I know, people who are like, oh my god, let me be part of your cartoons, and I'm like, okay, here's the script. So literally, it's just people from everywhere. I think in episode 17 or 18, I had a woman from New York, or I think both of them were from New York, and they were playing nuns. So that was cool. They killed it. They did amazing. But yeah,
What?
anybody who watches, or even you, if you're interested in doing a voiceover, I write the script and then I'll probably hit you up like, hey, do you think you could do this voice? And then yeah,
I'm with it. Chacho.
no problem.
I could be the Dominican Papi Champu.
That's cool. The next season, season 2, is where she's gonna explore more of her black culture because we're gonna have another black kid come into the school and he's gonna be like hella black, you know. So he's gonna be like in ciphers rapping and have like a South Central accent. So now all the attention is gonna be like on this new black kid, and she's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I'm not the only black person anymore." And basically, he's gonna show her like the LA black culture, I guess, because it's different everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where we're gonna have different people, different rappers, a lot more rapping for the next season. But yeah, it'd be great to get you on there. Different
Oh, hell yeah.
voices.
With also, have you been reached out by like people who want to be a guest, like well-known names and stuff on the low low? Or
No,
not
I
yet?
mean, I have people with decent followings, like
Mm-hmm.
probably over 50,000. Um, but nobody like big yet. Um, I just really want to work on marketing it so that it gets out there because I feel like only like a certain amount of people have really seen it. Not a lot of eyes have been on it. But the dream will be to get Snoop Dogg actually in there. That would be crazy.
I'm gonna start tagging Snoop Dogg every single time just because you never know. We're
Yeah,
gonna throw it out there.
and actually, the guy, the one that played Theo Maniax on the
Yeah.
last episode, he was just with Snoop Dogg probably like 3 weeks ago. Like they were just chilling, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm so close. Like he's right there. But
Don't
yeah.
worry. He'll be in here. You know who else I could see in your show? Danny Trejo.
Oh, I think there's um my partner has some connections with him because he was supposed to do, was it him? I don't know, but yeah, like it's literally like 3 phone calls away. Like all these people are just so much closer.
Yo,
Like,
but with that said, right? Yo, the West Coast, yo, I always tap my hat off to the West Coast because y'all are amazing people. When it comes out to the support on coming on the show, the West Coast has shown a lot of love. And yo, thank you, West. I always tell y'all every single time on the show I have a guest from the West. Y'all been mad supportive. And also y'all support each other big time too. Cause I had Nick last week. And then I saw him with Danny Trejo and I seen him with other people too. And it's like California is so big, but at the same time so small, right?
yeah.
And it seems like everybody interacts with everybody. Some way, somehow you could bump into somebody. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all not like stank. Like over here, it's different. It's different. Even when you see a celebrity out here, you're like, all right, whatever, be. Oh, that's so and so. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. And you keep it pushing. And
Oh,
it's funny, right? That's why there's celebrities who like New York because it's like, all right, cool. It's like, oh, it's homie right there, bro. Like, and it's a New York thing, like, yo, fuck them, be like, fuck them, like, yeah. But in back of your head, you're like, yo, you're starstruck, but you're trying to play it cool. Like growing up, right? I saw Al Pacino, right? Like literally, like face to face.
oh.
But I'm like, whatever, man. So I didn't even pay no mind. I was like, I'm too cool for him. I'm like, that was my time. And then as I got older, then I was like, oh, I bumped into like Waka, um, Be Real out here, Kanye. Then I was like, all right, I'm gonna take pictures with Ja.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was cool, you know what I mean? They're all down to earth and shit at the end of the day, all people. But sometimes, there's certain celebrities you bumped into and it's like, nah, I ain't trying to, it's like whatever be.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, let me give you your space.
That's how I am for the most part. I see a lot of YouTubers over here, but with the YouTubers, I mean, with everybody, I don't get that starstruck, but I'm kind of just like, whatever. Unless it's like somebody I'm very obsessed with, then I try to make my way to them. But for the most part, I'm just like, oh, dope.
Don't worry, we're gonna make it work for Snoop. I'll tag Snoop. Don't worry, I'm gonna tag Snoop. I'm gonna tag Snoop. Watch. Post up that joint. You Snoop Dogg tune, I'm gonna be posting and be like, yo, Snoop, you gotta get on
Dang.
the show, Papa. You gotta show hella Mexican some love, B. Just drop one ball.
That'd be crazy. And then the thing is, he's always posting just like random stuff on his Instagram. So it can happen. It can. It will happen eventually.
Yeah,
Someday.
yeah, it will happen. We gotta catch them, because I'm pretty sure we all gotta catch our heroes before they're gone. Because you know what I mean? Everybody's getting older.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
All our heroes are getting older. We're getting older as well. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, I don't feel that old. And then when I think about it, I'm like, God damn, I'm an old bastard. But I don't feel old, you know? It's
But I
like,
hear that's a thing. Like you never feel older. Like you just physically look older, but you never actually like feel older.
yeah, and then
Like I
the
feel like
energy.
once I turned 19, when I turned 19, like I feel like I've always been 19 forever. I just know how to act better and properly in front of people, but in my head I'm still like, oh, I'm 19. So I'll be like 60 and still feeling like I'm 19.
Before we wrap it up, I do want to know, right? Have you censored like your creation? You know what I mean? Because there's people that I've interviewed and I've got to know pretty cool. And they have informed me like when they get to a certain point and they get reached out by like publishings or companies, they try to recreate your craft or they try to
Mm-hmm.
censor this or they try to do this. So what they do, they decide to go independent because it's like, yo, you're really taking away from my creation.
Right.
Yeah, because this like the guys who I'm speaking about, they try to change the title, they try to change the names of the characters, just so they like certain characters like, oh, can you do this and that? And he was like, nah, man, we can't do that. That's what made the show. And I was like, yo, bro, that's what made your comic be. Like you change those little two or three
Yeah.
things. I'm like, that's really just changing the whole outlook of your comic book.
Mm-hmm. I think Hollywood has like a mold in how they like to portray things and show things very typical. So they try to take this and mold it so that it fits like this Hollywood standard. So I could see that. I mean, that happened a couple times with us too, um, where we've talked to some people, some major people who are just like, oh, we like this, but we would change this and that. And we're kind of just like, that's not really true to like the authenticity of this show. And like the point of this show is to represent Afro Latinos. So sometimes, it's better to run independently with it, so you can tell your story the way it is. Because if I'm not telling my story, there's like another white man, white old man in Hollywood telling my story how they think it is, and they're missing all the points. So, we gotta be able to tell our own stories and be as authentic as possible and put our foot down, because I had people offer me money, right? So they'd take the cartoon, they'd basically buy the cartoon, but they were gonna change it all, and then the money wasn't even worth like selling the cartoon. But yeah, I could definitely relate to your friend. Gotta just hold on to it and just be independent, yeah, because nobody else is gonna tell our stories the way appropriately, the way we'd want it to be told.
Yeah. And with that said, I could see a show on Netflix.
That'd be crazy.
Yo, little like those miniseries because they do have like the cartoons that are like under, I think under a certain time. I think under 5 minutes. Yeah, under 5 minutes, and they have it, so I could really see that. And also, your cartoon also reminds me of back in the day. You probably remember there used to be like these Bunny and Friends. I'm not sure.
Diamonds.
It was like these cartoon characters, right? It was like a bear, a bunny. I forgot what else, and they would like kill each other.
Oh, was it on YouTube?
Yes,
It was like very violent, right? There
yes,
was like
very violent.
blood. Oh my god, yeah, I was like really little when that came out. But I remember that.
Yeah, so that's why little things like that, you know what I mean? Even though your show is not nothing along the lines of that, nothing along the lines of it, it just triggers something of, of past remnants. You got me? And it's cool that you're doing it, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm sure it's catching people's eyes and it's also catching this generation who's growing up in a whole
Right.
different type of culture. You got me? Everybody's basically mixing. We're not becoming just one community. It's like a mixed community now. We're not just one culture
Yeah.
anymore. Everybody's getting mixed. Everybody's interacting with each other, and love is becoming mixed. It's not just one sided anymore, which is dope. You know what I mean?
It is. Yeah, they're saying like in a couple years everybody's gonna kind of look the same or the same skin tone or something like that because everybody's just mixing. But yeah, that's crazy. It's cute. It's good, learning about other cultures and
Yeah.
yeah.
The only difficult part I'm gonna have to say is trying to share the culture. You know what I mean? Like having both sides of the family teach you their side and sharing
Mm,
that side. You get me? Because sometimes always one side wins more than the other.
yeah.
Like with my kids, they're growing a little bit more Mexican than Trinidadian because we're more closer to that side. But at the same time, it's like we still have to play like soca music and let them know like traditions when like come to like Christmas because they have Paran. It's like what they play for Christmas carols and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a Spanish and English with like the steel drum and stuff. So yeah, it's completely different. I'm pretty sure if you look it up, you put it on Paran or soca music, Christmas, you'll see it what I'm talking about. And they have like Spanish songs because they have Venezuelans who came in as well. So it's like
Oh, that's
yeah, yeah.
interesting.
So Trinidad's like completely mixed and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's dope. I'll check it out. You gotta send me the whole everything we discussed, even Prince Pizza, everything through
Oh no, I
WhatsApp.
got you. I got you with all that. Yeah, we got it. If you ever come down here, we'll link up and everything. And I'll take you out here and get some real Dominican food in Brooklyn. Get some
Yes.
moro, get some maduros, get pollo rostizado, get empanadas,
Gosh.
get pastelillos, which is Puerto Rican. Oh yeah, then you gotta get pernil,
What is that?
pernil,
What's that?
pork shoulder.
Oh. Oh, I'm excited. I'm actually hungry right now. I wonder what we're gonna eat.
And then you got monfongo, which is like a banana thing. Oh, you got for breakfast
Oh,
Dominicans.
my dad makes those.
Yeah, nice. For breakfast is what is it called? Damn, I already forgot what it's called. It's the banana with the yuca, the salami, and fried cheese.
And it has like there's mango also.
Mangul, yeah, mangul.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
see, you're already there, Papa. You're already there. Oh yeah, I gotta send you the dembow music, El Alfa, the
Yes.
pages. So yeah, just like everybody know where to catch you at.
You can find me at Hella Black Mexican. That's the cartoon. My personal one is Ehcrama, spelled Ehcrama. On YouTube, the cartoon is Hella Black Mexican. Twitter, Hella Black Mex. TikTok, Hella Black Mex. And I think that's it.
All right, then. So thank you everybody for listening. Y'all take it easy. Until the next one.